It's Monday.
Yes, it is. It's Monday. Allan Aguirre with your Incorruptible 2-minute warning. Week 17, Chameleon, Corinthian, or Caricature. And we are in the middle of 1 Corinthians chapter 14, starting with verse 26. The English Standard Version has this titled Orderly Worship. So we are continuing in Paul's teaching regarding charismatica, regarding prophecy, speaking in tongues, worship, spiritual gifts, all the stuff Christians just don't understand. What then, brothers? When you come together, each one has a hymn, a lesson, a revelation, a tongue, or an interpretation. Wow, did you understand what he just said there? When you come together, when you gather as a community, when you gather as an ecclesia, as a church, bring a hymn, bring a lesson, a revelation, a tongue, or an interpretation, that all things be done for building up. People will actually go to that part and go, oh, you can't do it. Paul said it's got to be done in order. And it's just so weird. If any speak in a tongue, all right, people don't understand how this works. And it's usually those that don't do it. I mean, right? That's my favorite part about this stuff. The biggest critics and the biggest naysayers and the loudest opponent to this subject matter are those that don't do it. Oh man, I know you think you're entitled to your own opinion, but you're actually not. Just don't be ridiculous. Sit down and let the grown-ups talk. If any speak in a tongue, let there be only 2 or at most 3, and each in turn, and let someone interpret. Absolutely makes sense. So what they say is this: when you're in a church and they're all worshiping in the Spirit and they're all worshiping in tongues, they think that's what this is talking about, and that there needs to be an interpretation. No, if anyone speak in a tongue, not sing, right? But then there might be someone that goes above the crowd, right? There better be an interpretation at that point. See, because right, if it's a standout tongue, it has to be interpreted. But if there is no one to interpret, let each of them keep silent in church and speak to himself and to God. You got to shut him down.
The views and opinions expressed during our broadcasts are solely those of the broadcast producers, hosts, and/or guests, etc., and are not necessarily the views or opinions of the Travelog Network, its sponsors, or affiliates.